Is your fish tank overgrown with algae? Are you having a hard time trying to figure out how to control that algae? In this video today, we're going to be telling you about our top 5 algae eaters. And I think you'll be surprised at number 5.
First on our list is the Bristlenose Pleco. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love to breed bristlenose.
Bristlenose Plecos are one of the best options for an algae eater because they eat a wide variety of algae and they love to eat it. They do especially well eating that green spot algae. It gets all over your glass and makes it hard for you to see your fish. Bristlenose Plecos are commonly available at your local fish stores and they can survive in a wide variety of water parameters, so they're great in lots of different tanks. In my opinion, the only downsides to the Bristlenose Plecos is they love to eat the sword plants and they produce a lot of waste.
They poop a lot.
If you decide to get a Bristlenose Pleco, make sure that you check out our video that I'm going to link right here on how to feed your Plecos and how to make sure they're eating all that they need.
Number 2 on our list is the Nerite Snail.
Now, some people don't like having snails in their tank because they're worried that those snails are going to reproduce and overwhelm their tank. But the great thing about the Nerite snail is that it will only hatch in brackish water. So it's not something you're going to have to worry about with this snail. Nerite snails are really good at cleaning that glass and getting that green spot algae off the glass. They also do a great job of cleaning algae off of plants for you. In my opinion, the only downside to the Nerite snail is that it will leave little white eggs all over your tank. Now, those eggs aren't going to hatch, but they can be a little bit of an eyesore. But if you're growing off plants, you're not going to see them anyways.
If you're looking for a shrimp, the best shrimp is the amano shrimp. That's why it's number 3 on our list.
Now, the amano shrimp only breeds in brackish water, so you're not going to be able to breed these in your fish tanks. But amano shrimp are an absolute fabulous algae eater. These shrimp can get to all those little hard to reach nooks and crannies that some of your bigger algae eaters can't get to. They are great at eating hair algae, brush algae, most of the string algae, and they'll even eat blackbeard algae.
Number 4 on our list is the Siamese algae eater.
This fish is so good at eating algae that it's even in its name. The Siamese algae eater. One thing I love about this fish is that it will swim all over your tank. And that's a lot different than a lot of these other algae eaters we're talking about. Most of them just sit in one spot or move very slowly around your tank. Not these guys. These guys will move quickly from one side to the other as they're grazing and eating on your algae. They're great at eating those hair algae. And again, they'll eat that blackbeard algae. If you decide to get the Siamese algae eater, be cautious. While the Siamese algae eater is great in the community tank, it's a closely related cousin. The Chinese algae eater is not. A lot of people can confuse the Siamese algae eater and the Chinese algae eater for each other because they resemble each other so closely. But the Chinese algae eater is much more aggressive than the Siamese algae eater. So if you're going to pick up one of these guys, make sure you really have a good idea of what they look like and that you can tell the difference between the two fish.
Number 5 on our list is the Ramshorn Snails.
Now, we know this one is going to be controversial. We know a lot of you guys out there think Ramshorn snails are pest snails. Ramshorn snails can breed all by themselves. They don't need a partner. They're able to independently breed and produce lots of new snails. And if you're not careful, this can overwhelm your tank quickly. However, Ramshorn snails are excellent at eating algae off of all of the different surfaces of your aquarium. So whether that's the glass, or maybe you have some wood in there, or you have plants or some rocks, they'll eat the algae off those plastic decorations. They're great at that. On top of that, they'll also eat all those rotting leaves in your tank, as well as any dead fish you might not have seen. Now, if you do get overwhelmed and have an infestation of these snails, then it's a sign that you are overfeeding your fish tank, which to me is another great advantage, actually, of the Ramshorn snails. If you're getting too many of them, feed less. If you don't have any, maybe you aren't feeding enough. So make sure you're watching your Ramshorn snails. They'll tell you, Do I need to feed my tank more or not?
If you liked this video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.